Welcome back to the Golf is Hard podcast. My name's Denim and I'm your host. Today I wanted to talk about plateaus in golf. Specifically as an amateur golfer, when we plateau, our game becomes almost in a state where it doesn't move. And I think I know why for my game and why that's happening. So I wanted to share some of the thoughts around that. Also got to play one of Australia's top 100 golf courses. Played a couple of awesome sandbelt courses in the last couple of weeks, so I wanted to share some of those experiences with you. I've also got a really exciting announcement. What I wanted to do in today's episode was to answer some questions that I got and kind of react to a couple of things that came across on my YouTube channel. And I'll take a look at some questions that I got from the audience, and the first one I got was from Tian Yu 6330, and Tian said, "Hi, is it precisely 7 feet in height without the extension?" And Tian's talking about the golf net behind me. That's the Spawnia net, as I mentioned. And she's talking about the actual extension that's above the hitting area right there. And my response was, "Hey, welcome back to the channel. The extension sits just under 7 feet. Give or take a few inches either way. Without the extension would be closer to 6'5". So without that extension there, you're probably looking at 6 feet, 5 or 6 inches in total height for the SPG 7. The other question that I got was around the ceiling. And if I just go have a look at a couple of other questions. Golf Quest channel, thanks for your question. It said, "Are you lead hand dominant or a true lefty?" This is an interesting topic, I think, because a part of my golf swing and the problems I'm having today, I've started to notice that it is because I'm starting to become more lead hand dominant for some reason. I don't know why. If I were to guess, it's probably my background in playing cricket, and technically when you play cricket, something you're taught to do is have this kind of stiff front arm. For anyone that is technical in their cricket game and understands what I'm talking about, you will get the illustration. Also wanted to wish you a happy new year. I hope you guys had an enjoyable festive season. I know I ate way too much goodies, but it was really good for the soul, and I spent a lot of that chilling out with family and my partner and my dog, and just sort of really taking in what the year of 2023 was about. I think it was, for me, on a personal note, there was a lot of change, and I'm sure there were a lot of people out there that experienced difficult time, challenges, things that went right and in the wrong direction. Maybe I don't know your situation precisely, but I hope you enjoyed this season that we just had. And here in Australia, obviously we're in summer, but it's pouring rain, and haven't really been able to play too much golf. And I'm probably a once a week golfer. I don't generally play more than that because of the financial situation we're all in. But I haven't been able to do that. The last couple of weeks have been an exception. I played a couple of times. So this dominant left hand or dominant lead hand dominant golfer, whether you're right or left, I think is an interesting topic. My response to Golf Quest was, I'm probably right in between. And what I mean by that is I'm probably right in between a lead hand and a weak hand or a lower hand. My left hand and my right hand are kind of balanced in my golf swing. So that was my response to Golf Quest channel. And when I responded to that, I started to think about, hang on, what kind of problems am I having in my golf swing? And a lot of it has to do with where my golf club and my face or my golf club is facing. That's my biggest problem. I feel like subconsciously I'm trying to manipulate the face a lot, and I'm doing that with a really stiff, kind of strong lead arm. So thank you for your question, Golf Quest channel, because you kind of made me stop and think for a minute, and then that made me a little bit aware in my golf swing when I was practicing in here. Some of the faults and the problems that I'm having is actually because I am absolutely gripping the club so tightly with that lead hand, and it's causing me all sorts of problems. Striker YouTube commented, everything sounds pure. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, man. Thank you for commenting and appreciate the love on that. It was on a short clip of me playing at Lang Lang Golf Club. Got asked, what is my current handicap by Nana Banana? Coolest name on YouTube by far. And Nana Banana, that's pretty cool. So my current handicap situation, when I think about that, I think it's, for me, when I think about handicap, I think about the it's good to know where you are in the game. I don't disagree with that. But for me personally, I'm not as interested in chasing down my handicap. It's not why I got into golf. That's not my intent with golf for the year that's ahead of us in 2024. I'm not trying to, no more am I trying to get my handicap below 10 or 5, for example. That's kind of not the goal. My goal is to continue to enjoy the game, play more courses that I love, and create really good content for you guys to enjoy. They're my passions around golf. And if I found myself, anytime that I was chasing my handicap and lowering scores and things like that, just had this adverse effect on my game, and I stopped enjoying the game as much. It just became a bit of a job or a chore, and I don't want to do that. I got into golf not to become a professional golfer. I got into golf because I love the game and I want to create content around it. And to do that, the best way I'm going to do it is not focus on my handicap, because I'm really not. I'm not trying to enter into tournaments. I'll play in a tournament if it's there and if it presents itself. But it's more so, definitely more so, to create content, experience different golf courses around the world, and share that on my YouTube channel and talk about it on this podcast, and you know, give out little behind the scenes of all of this on my Instagram. And if you haven't already followed me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, go ahead and do that at Dedan Pereira Golf. This podcast is also now live on all major podcast platforms, which is amazing. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, any kind of major podcast platform, this will be available. So if you're watching on my YouTube channel, you'll be able to get the video podcast version, or if you're listening in, welcome you, and I thank you for tuning in, and I hope there's some value in this podcast for you. Now there was a couple more, and I'm looking at my phone here, so if you see me looking down, I had some comments around the Wilson putter. I used the Wilson Harmonized M1 putter, and I have been doing that for a couple of months now, maybe 3 or 4 months. And I love this putter. I've mentioned it multiple times. It's still my go-to putter. I'm putting a lot better than I did before I had that putter. And I think it's because of the lightweight kind of nature of it and its build. So I had Blue Nose 8442, some of the best names here. I use a Wilson putter, tried way more expensive ones, but the Wilson one works for me. Wouldn't change it for anything else. Agreed. And that was my response. I agreed. I have this now for a few months, and after using the TaylorMade Spider for a long time and the Ping Answer, this putter is perfect. Does everything I need for a fraction of the price. And that's the truth. That's absolutely the truth. I got no intent of changing that putter. And I've said this before, but Wilson, you've done an amazing job with building a budget putter that offers value to amateurs and people looking not to break the bank, to, you know, try a new putter. All right, cool. So everyone that has gone, commented, reacted to my YouTube videos on the YouTube channel, thank you so much. I appreciate all the love, support, the questions. If you do have more questions about the stuff that I'm doing, please shoot them across there or on my Instagram. I will definitely respond to you as quick as I can. What else we got here? So I got to play the Dunes golf course, and I also played Lang Lang golf course. Amazing courses in their own right for different reasons. Lang Lang golf course, $45. You get to play a sandbelt course that is challenging. It's known as the Augusta of Victoria for a reason. The fairways are quite tight. You can't actually use driver as much as you would like. You could probably use driver on maybe 5 of the holes, and if you're a kind of mid to long range hitter, you really can't use a driver too often. A couple of the par fives and par fours and things like that. But I really like playing out there. And funnily enough, like I love playing golf with my friends, and I kind of don't have a regular playing group. And I think it's because I create content. It's a bit hard. I don't want to be that guy carrying a camera around, and especially when I'm just catching up with friends for the first time in a while. So Lang Lang was definitely cool for that, and for $45 to play a sandbelt course, unbelievable value. So if you're in the Gippsland area and you're looking for a really good course to go and try and play and get challenged by, I definitely recommend Lang Lang. The other course I played was the Dunes golf course. Now this one has a $120 green fee. It's not cheap at all, but there is a reason why they charge that. It's a top 100 course. Just about every year that it gets ranked. Yeah, some of the most beautiful fairways and links golf that you'll be able to play. It's situated in the Cups Estate on the Mornington Peninsula, and the Cups Estate is just basically sand dune golf. There is lots of sand and there's lots of dunes. The one takeaway that I had from playing this, and I played in a 4-ball with a bunch of friends. We played a scramble, a 2-man scramble, and probably didn't get to kind of experience the course as much. I think when you play scramble, you obviously, you're relying on your partner a little bit, and you kind of cruise for most of the time. And I found myself just enjoying just being with the people that I was with and relying on my friend. And I find that if you do play a scramble, what really takes it to the next level is putting something on the line at the end of it. That, if I'm playing for something, my game goes to another level, and I just know that. And whereas compared to if you're just playing and it's a scramble, cool, and you're not really playing for anything, my mentality is I'll just enjoy it, be there to experience it, and just cruise through it. And I think that's the way I like to approach golf, because if not, it's a super intense sport, and you can just, wear yourself out by just kind of wanting to hit perfect shots all the time. And so, I didn't mind the round of golf. I probably, when I look back, I could have enjoyed myself a little bit more. But definitely recommend the Dunes golf course if you can afford to get out there. I don't recommend paying $120 green fees, but golf is an expensive sport. Golf is hard and golf is expensive. Two things that you unfortunately have to deal with golf. So the Dunes were awesome. I'd love to visit there again when I've got the money for it. Obviously, I'll be saving up for that next round at the Dunes. So this interesting topic around the plateaus in golf. Every time I think about my golf game, I think about, why can I not improve from where I'm at, the level I'm at, the scores that I'm scoring, the shots and mistakes that I'm making? Why can't I get rid of them? And I heard someone say this. It was a pro golfer, and I think it was Justin Thomas, like last week. And he said, we all plateau. No, it was, I can't remember who it was now. Patrick Harrington. I actually really like that guy. He's, I got a lot of respect for him. And I love his accent. So I can listen to him talk all day. But he basically was talking about how golfers plateau, and you kind of, when you do plateau, that's where a lot of people lose the love of the game. And when I think about this, I think it's so true, because I've seen a lot of my friends go in and out of golf. I've seen myself go in and out of golf in the past. And if I look back at why that was the case, it was mainly because I was expecting way too much, and I was expecting perfect all the time for my golf swing, for my golf game. And I think it's super, like when I hear people, especially people that are new to golf, come in and, they hit a PB, or they score their best score, they have their best round of golf. And it might be they break 100 for the first time. And you ask them, I like to ask them, like, okay, cool, what are you going to do next? Like, what would you like to do next? And let's say they broke 100 and they scored a 99. Awesome, what do you want to do next, man? And their response will generally is, I want to break 90. And if you've played golf long enough, to go from 99 to 89, that's a huge leap in skill, in mindset, course management, just about every facet, and sometimes even equipment. Like all these things, and to get from 99 to 89 is a huge journey. And then from 89 to 79, which is where I am, is an even bigger journey. And then from 79 all the way down to 69, it's going to be even bigger journey. And it's going to be even harder to do. And that's why golf is the way golf is. That's what I've started to realize, is that's why so many people give up. That's why so many people can't get past certain levels. And it's kind of a bit, and I was reading the Bible. I'm a Christian, for anyone that doesn't know that, but I was reading the Bible and something stood out to me, and it was, accept your lot in life. And that's some sage advice, because that applies to golf as well. The quicker we can accept where we are and our skill set, if we're not willing to actually put the work in to get lower, like you can't expect to go from 99 to 89 if you're getting to the range once a fortnight and playing twice a month. It's just not going to happen. And so when I started to think about my game, I'm in that 89 to 79 range. I've never broken 80 before. It's one of the things that I would love to do. Again, not worried about handicap. I'm just worried about constantly and consistently, every 10 rounds of golf that I play, I would love to have a personal best in there. That's kind of the mindset I've got. Now, my problem has been is I've played my 10, 15 rounds and I've not been able to do that. I've even played a little bit more, and I've not been able to beat my previous best, which was an 81. And I've scored that multiple times. I for whatever reason, I can't get to 80, and I definitely cannot get, I'm not looking at 79, and never looked at a 79 before. I had to look at a 79. It's the same mistakes that I continue to make. So I've got to change something. I realize this, I know this now. And part of that is like my swing. Part of it is, it could be some equipment changes. And a part of it might be just some mindset stuff. But I'm going to leave the mindset stuff later, because I started to realize when I started to dive into a lot of the mindset, it started to make golf harder for me and took away the enjoyment. So I do want to address what kind of mindset you need to not plateau yourself. And I think a big part of that for me will be the ability not to expect too much. So that's kind of where my golf game is at. And, even when I played the Dunes the other day, I hit off the tee. I think I shanked 2 balls, and I had an approach shot from about 120. Green was up, above us. And it was 120, maybe playing 130. It's a bit of wind right to left. It was quite breezy. But it was a tabletop green. And I remember just shanking this ball completely off the course, and there was some farmland kind of next to it. It ended up next to the cows. And that's just golf. Like, it's going to happen. That's something that I'm struggling with. I have no idea. All of a sudden, I'll shank a ball in my round, and I can't tell you how hard it is to stop shanking. It's ridiculous. It is a plague. If it catches you, it can really haunt your golf game, and it's doing that for me now. But I'm putting in the work here. I'm going to get past it at some point. it's just interesting documenting some of this, because I will come back and listen to some of this stuff and probably laugh at it and be like, well, what are you doing? You know, how did you get stuck where you were? So if you're out there, you're kind of plateauing and your golf game's plateaued and you just cannot move, I think it's definitely take a look at, you know, are you putting in extra work to get better? What type of, if you are, what type of work are you putting in? Is it work that is just hitting balls over and over and over and over again? Or is it stuff that is going to help improve or fix a mistake that you continue to make on the course? One of my problems that I've got is I don't play enough golf, and I don't see myself playing a whole ton of golf, right? I need to make money, I need to pay bills, and I just can't do that by creating golf content. I do all my content creation, all my podcasts, Instagram, YouTube, doesn't pay me. So the challenge that I've got is that I want to get better. I want to improve my game, but it's a balance between life and golf and work that actually pays the bills. So if you're not in the same situation as me, it'll be something similar. And, you know, trust me, I feel your pain. It's something you've just got to continue to work on, and then do the work that is actually going to fix those mistakes that you continuously make. Ask yourself, what are those mistakes that I continuously make? Because that's what I'm doing right now. And as I do that, more and more, I started to get a little wiser, bring out a little bit of wisdom from what I'm doing. And that's what changes your mindset. So it's definitely a journey, the one that I'm enjoying. Also saw that Jason Day went and signed up with this new golf apparel brand. And, excuse me, I'm just going to look up this name really quickly. I forgot what the name of this brand was. Yeah, he signed up with this streetwear brand. And I got to say, Melbourne Golf. At first, I thought it was like how Americans say Melbourne. Like, they can't say Melbourne, they say Melbourne. And no offense to any Americans watching, because I know there are a few of you out there that watch my content. First, I thought that's what it was. It's like, oh, it's Melbourne Golf. But it's actually Melbourne Golf. I think I'm saying that right. Malbon Golf. So Jason Day obviously was with Nike for like almost a decade. Yeah, he was with Nike for almost a decade. PGA Tour winner and decorated career, all that kind of stuff. And then he goes and flips to a streetwear brand. And I think that's pretty big when it comes to the type of the type of stuff that people are wearing on the golf course. I've watched people go from traditional polos, hats like this. I'm sorry, I got someone doing a burnout outside of my house. I've watched, people go from traditional golf attire to more streetwear based stuff. And I find that fascinating because it's now encouraging more new age golfers to be comfortable in what they're wearing. And I think I'm going to adopt some of this. And what Jason Day's done, I think is really cool, because the streetwear brand that he's partnered with have got some awesome stuff, and they're not just like that purist golf brand. And when I think about what types of brands I resonate with, I would resonate more with something like a let me put this in the right context or the right words. I like Vice Golf better than I would like TaylorMade. Now I'm wearing a TaylorMade hat and I got TaylorMade clubs. But the style of Vice Golf versus the style of TaylorMade, it appeals to me more. It's the colors, it's this vibe that you get from the brand. Similarly, I love golf brands such as Bogey Boys. Absolutely love their brand. And there's some of the stuff that I think is a bit outlandish and like I wouldn't wear it. but I like the streetwear influence on golf. Because if you look at original golf, and the more I look at, excuse me, I got a little bit of, hay fever. But if you look at original golf attire, you'll see that a lot of what people wore had a sophisticated look to it, yes, but it's also it kind of had this, I don't know, a real cool vibe to it, and a very street vibe to it, and a very contemporary yet classical look to it. And there's something about Melbourne golf that definitely appeals to me in that sense, like it kind of is going back in time. And it's funny how trends just kind of reverse, especially in the golf world. Like we've got, golf balls now is a huge topic that they're going to try and roll back the golf ball. And so basically they're going to try to reduce distance because they don't have enough land for some of these huge hitters that are on tour. They're going to run out of golf courses that are long enough to deal with how far some of these pros are hitting it. So they're going to roll the golf ball back. So it's funny how technology moves us forward, especially like in golf, for example, moves us forward, and then we just can't keep up with it. And in golf brand world, we're now seeing more and more brands kind of roll back the clock and have this classical look to what they're creating. So I love it, and I'm sure that was worth a pretty penny for Jason Day's signature. So I do have an exciting partnership announcement, and this is something that just came about quite naturally, but I have officially partnered with Spawnia. They manufacture the golf net that you see behind me on the podcast if you're watching on YouTube. If you are not and you're listening to this podcast, check out my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Or you may know the brand. It's a very well-known golf brand. They make the number one golf practice net on the market. I exclusively practice on this thing because for many different reasons, it is convenient, it's very durable, and I can hit just about any type of shot into there. And Spawnia and I have partnered together, and I'm really excited about this because when I first started this golf content journey about 6 months ago, I never thought that I would look at what I do from a content perspective and be like, I'm gonna go after these partnerships, and I'm gonna try to gain accreditation or street cred or industry credit, if that makes sense. It wasn't my intent. I did, if it came about, I was always going to be open to it because you'd have to be silly not to. But at the same time, I just never thought it would be a possibility. I always thought that, I'm just going to create this content, I'm going to share it. And it was more of an interpersonal development thing too, was to do something that I was passionate about and show that and share that. And I truly love consuming golf content. And the guys, Good Golf, Rick Shields, Me and My Golf, I used to watch these guys and some of their channels on just repeat. I'd consumed so much of it. I learned my entire golf swing from Me and My Golf. I literally watched all their videos and became self-taught. I had one golf lesson, and then to come from there to fall in love with the game because my dog and I used to jump on a course behind my parents' house, and we used to go for walks on there, and then I found a bunch of golf balls, I found a golf club. It's been a very natural progression for me and golf, and the partnership with Spawnia to this stage is content based. So if you do follow them on the Instagram page, you might see my face a little bit, and you will see some more content with the net itself. I do have some plans to go live with some simulator golf in here. That is something that I'm trying to set up. I'm excited about doing that, and I'm going to use the Spawnia golf net to do that, and I'm going to try to do that with a budget. And if you're someone that is trying to play more home golf or you can't get out to the course as much, definitely consider subscribing to the channel or following this podcast, because I will be sharing as much of that in terms of experience as well as, live course play on a sim. When I can't get to a course, I'm going to try to do a lot of that in here. So I'm super excited about this partnership, and the one thing that I always look at with brands is what kind of people sit behind the brand. And I had a chance to speak with some of Sporty Australia's owners, and there's some awesome people. To give you an example, they had a shipment delay throughout Christmas, and basically one of their shipments from overseas wasn't going to arrive in time for people to get their Sporty nets delivered before Christmas. So you would think that any other time it'd be an email saying, we're really sorry, we can't get you these deliveries on time. But I love the fact that Sporty Australia didn't sit on it. They actually got the Polar Express set up, which is they got a van and started to hand deliver these around Australia. Unbelievable customer service. And when I think about the types of brands that I would love to work with, I just think about the people that I would love to be connected to. And from everything that I can see and everything I've experienced, Sporty Australia, can't speak on behalf of Sporty the US, but Sporty Australia have been awesome. And a big shout out to Michael and your team. You guys really do take a lot of what the customers' needs and wants are and try to fulfill that. And it was awesome to see. And as someone that uses the net and knows how much value it brings, and I'm sure there would have been a lot of happy Aussies on Christmas Day. So that's it for today's episode. I'm really excited to see what happens next. I'll catch you on the next episode. And don't forget, golf is hard.